Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another tier links. We're back with the tier links. No more rankings. I'm going to save that for the end of the year. Next year, or should I say this coming year, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm back with the tier links. This time, I'm ranking streaming services I've used. I made this list myself. These are only going to be streaming services I've used personally myself. And we're just gonna roll right through it. I watch a ton of movies, okay? I watch a lot of movies, and I have a little app you may have heard of called Letterboxd, and that app allows you to see movies on your watch list, which you can add any movie you want to your watch list, and it will let you add streaming services that you have, and then it will tell you what movies are available on the streaming services you have. So, therefore, in that way, I can see kind of the apps that carry the good stuff and the apps that don't really carry anything, or apps that I've used because they do carry good stuff, but yet they're not competent. You know what I'm saying? So I watch a lot of movies, so I know a lot about these apps. So that's why I'm getting right to it. So let's get started. Let's do it. So number one is Plex. This is actually an interesting choice for number one. I'm curious why it just jumped to number one because I thought these were going to stay in order. But anyway, Plex is an app I've used once. I think it's a fairly new streaming service. It's very similar to Tubi. I'll talk about Tubi later, but it's a free streaming services or streaming service that has ads. And I've used it once, and it's pretty good. It's pretty much along the same lines as Tubi. I watched a movie called Mr. Lonely from the wonderful mind of Harmony Korine or Corinne. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but anyway, one of my favorite casts of all time. But that's not what I'm talking about here. So Plex, I've used it once, and I thought it was all right. So I'm gonna put it a B. Of course, I have to use it a few more times, but it has a pretty good selection. From what I've seen, HBO Now is an app that I've never actually used, and because I've only used HBO Now through Amazon Prime. Now, I use my family's Amazon Prime account when I'm watching Prime Video, and I don't know who the fuck pays for HBO Now or who decided to do that. It's just a mystery to me. But we had HBO Now for a long time. It has a pretty decent selection of movies on it. I wouldn't say it's the best. It's a lot of just very kind of overly watched or just popular movies, which is fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I really like deep cuts. You know, I really like stuff that's hard to find otherwise. And HBO Now is just not that. So, to anybody else, I would say HBO Now is a good app. Of course, I've never actually used the real app. I've only gone through Amazon, but based on their selection, I'm giving them a C. That's a pretty good score. Stars, same exact thing. I've never used the actual app, but I know they have a cable channel that I used to watch way back in the day when I still had cable. And then same thing with the Amazon version of Stars. We had that for a little bit. I don't know why. Not really my favorite. I'm gonna keep it in the D. I may move it to high C based on how many C's there are. But right now, Stars, it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't have that good of a selection, if I'm being honest. It's kind of a booty streaming service. But who knows? I may move it based on other decisions here. Showtime. Showtime is okay. I will say it's a very competent app. I like the app itself. And it carries. I don't use it very often because it doesn't carry that many movies. But what I will say is that the movies that I've seen on it all been fire. You know, like it'll carry stuff that's like, why is this on Showtime? You know, it's like kind of out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna say this. My mic is crap. I don't know if I mentioned that. My mic is crap. It's probably cutting out. I don't care. If you have a complaint, go to the complaint department. Give them a call. 1-800-555-4327. 1-800-555-4327. Give them a call. Tell them the mic's cutting out. And I guarantee you 100%, this is a Jake guarantee. I'm going to give it to you right now. All right? Give them a call between the times of 8 and 7. That's the only time when we're answering phones. I'm not telling you AM or PM. You just got to guess. Between 8 and 7, what your answer is going to be. What your answer is going to be on the other line, whether that's a robot or a real person, you may never know because they sound the same. It's going to be, we don't care. All right, continuing. Showtime, I talked about it already. I'm going to put it in front of stars behind HBO. And actually, I don't know. I told you, no. I'm changing this up. Hold on. Whole different ball game, whole different ball plan, whole different, just, yeah. All right, next, Showtime in C category above HBO Now. Okay, I want to give it B because I really like this selection. I may give it to it later. We'll see. It's a small selection, but it's a good selection. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we have our first F tier, that's right, we're moving Crackle to F, and it's kind of similar to Showtime. I know they're completely different spots right now, but it's kind of similar to Showtime in the sense that they don't carry that much. They don't carry that many movies, but the movies that they do carry are fire. Like, they're really good. The thing that sets Showtime and Crackle apart is that Crackle is fucking awful as a UI. It just simply doesn't work. I've used it on multiple devices because there's this movie I want to watch and it's only on Crackle. It fucking sucks. It's terrible. Like, it's like I'll try to load a movie and it just won't even work. And that's going through 3 minutes of trying to find it on the app because in some versions of the app it doesn't have a search function. Terrible app, terribly designed. All right, moving on. We have YouTube. Now YouTube is it can be whatever you want it to be. That's a good way to put it. YouTube, it carries a lot of super rare stuff, and that's why it has a huge advantage in this race. That, it's kind of in my eyes. I feel like for other people, if they're just looking for, like Hollywood blockbusters, which most people watch, they're not going to find them on YouTube because you have to pay for them. And of course, you can pay for them on YouTube, but I don't do that. I'm gonna find whatever free stuff I can, and YouTube doesn't have free stuff unless it's rare. Sometimes they'll just have random movies on there for free. I don't know why, but a lot of rare shit. And if you can't find it on any other streaming services, look up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. I guarantee you that there is a 70% chance you will find it there. That's a high chance. Because of that, it gets a fat A. Fat A. Alright, next is Tobe. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our number one, I should say, our first S tier. I didn't mean it's the number one S tier because there's another S tier. We'll get to that later. But Tobe is an S tier. Tobe is a up and coming. I'm actually very glad to see them getting a little bit of popularity. I've seen some ads for them. I've seen some NFL sponsorships, which is kind of dope. I don't know why they're sponsoring through NFL, but I'll take it. Anyway, Tubi is fucking fire. First of all, because it's free. Everything that's on there is a free. You don't need to make an account. You can sign in as a guest. You don't need to do anything. You download the app. You can watch a movie. And then it does have ads. But it's not ridiculous with the ads. It's fair. And also, it's weird because different versions of the app I've used have this off and on, but what they do is they give you a countdown to the ads coming, so you know when they're coming. So it's like, and they always seem to be at great spots. It's not like they're gonna get you at like a climax, like TV does. They're gonna get you at a spot where it's like a good transition scene. It's going on to a next part. It gives you a countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to an ad break, which lasts maybe 1, 2, 3, 30-second ads. It's great. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why I like it. I like it, but the reason why I love it and the reason why it's an S tier is because the selection on this app is fucking insane. It's absolutely bonkers. For any cinephiles out there, anybody that's looking for rare shit, anybody that's looking for obscure shit, get Tubi. Add it to your letterbox list of streaming services. You will be just completely mind blown by the selection on this app. It's absolutely bonkers. I've watched so many fantastic movies on this streaming service. I love Tubi. Tubi is amazing. Okay, I got a little excited about Tubi. Next is Hulu. These are the three big juggernauts right in front of us here. One of the juggernauts, Hulu. Hulu is a very recent thing for me because probably about 9 months to a year ago, I got Spotify Premium. Well, on my own. I had been in a deal with my sister where I was paying her for. Anyway, I got my own Spotify student plan recently, and let me tell you, that is the best deal you can ever get because you get for $6 Spotify, Hulu, and Showtime. I should have mentioned that with Showtime. You get all of those for $6 a month. It's insane. But anyway, it's not like the Hulu Plus version. It's only the regular Hulu. So there's a big difference there. But I'm rating regular Hulu. I like regular Hulu. I really do. It gives you I think it's more about me. I think they're more centered on TV, but they have good movies too. It's mostly new movies. They don't have a lot of older films on there. You're not gonna find, yeah, you're not gonna find the classics on there. You're gonna find new stuff, um, and it cycles through new stuff pretty fast, but it gets the new stuff pretty quick, and it has good stuff that you're not gonna find on Prime or Netflix. So therefore, Hulu, I want to give it an A. I'm gonna give it an A behind YouTube because I've really enjoyed using it. It's fantastic UI. It's one of the most popular, so that's what I expect from it. I like it. I like it a lot. Next is the face of streaming services, Netflix. Netflix, I like. I like Netflix, and I like them mostly for their originals. I think that is the number one reason to have Netflix is the originals. I don't watch a lot of TV. I do watch TV occasionally, but not often. I watch a lot of movies, and luckily for both TV watchers and movie fans, they got both. They got a ton of original series. They got a ton of original movies, and their original movies are some of the best. Like there's no question about that. They have the best original movies because they're a juggernaut. They're a juggernaut both in the streaming world and the distributor world. Same thing with Prime. Prime is runner up, but Netflix, dude, they have the world by the balls. I'm going high A for them. Honestly, their selection, but you know, other than their originals, is actually it's it's pretty good. I'll say that. It's above decent. It's not bad at all. It's above decent, but it's not like really good. It's pretty good. But those originals fire most of the time. Something they have a lot of garbage originals too. But anyway, we won't talk about that. Next is Prime Video. That's gonna go right behind Netflix. Oh, right behind Netflix. Um, Pretty much the same thing, except just not exactly as good. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, same thing with the originals selection. Exact same thing as Netflix. I mean, that's the closest thing you're gonna get to Netflix when it comes to selection, including both its selection and uh, uh, originals. Uh, yeah. Next is IMBD TV. I haven't used this one very often, but I do use it every once in a while when I really want to watch a movie that they have. Um, it's alright. Um, to be honest, I think it's a little like clunky, I'd say. Um, Based on my one use of Plex, I think I like Plex better. But it's not bad at all. They have a decent selection, and it's free. You know, I mean, what more can you ask for? All right, next is Voodoo. I'm debating putting this in F. It's either an F or a D. It's close. I'm gonna put it in F. Yeah, definitely behind. I mean, in front of Crackle. Crackle's the worst, but Voodoo, I'm putting in F because uh, it's terrible UI. It's really bad. Um, and also they require you to make an account for their free version. I will say the free version is the only version I've used. Maybe the paid version is way better. I don't know, but the free version sucks. It sucks ass. Which is why I'm putting in an F. I've used it like one time and I hated it. I hated it. Next is Crunchyroll. I'm gonna put that in front of Stars and D. Now, it's because of any of my experience or anything. It's just my use. I've used it one time, and it was and the thing is I don't really watch anime that often at all. Every once in a while, there's an anime film I want to watch. Every once in a while, there's a series that somebody really wants me to watch. Um, and I'll try out an episode, or there's a movie that I can only see on Crunchyroll. That's the reason why I went to Crunchyroll that one time, and so it doesn't have anything to do with their UI. Their UI is pretty clunky, I will say, but that's not really what I'm basing this off of. It's more of just my use of it. I've only used it one time, and I don't really see myself using it like in the future at all, unless I'm desperate, you know. So that's why Crunchyroll goes in D. Nothing against it. It's just my personal use. Next is Canopy. I'm having a really hard time deciding between Tubi and I'm putting Canopy in top S. Top S. You know why? And this is a sleeper hit, okay? Canopy is a streaming service that you use with your library card, all right? You put in your library, you go to the public library, you can get a library card for free. You don't even have to go there. Just go get a library card wherever you live. Trust me. It will just trust me. Okay? Then you put your library card number into Canopy. You get a insane, absolutely insane selection of films. From super rare to Criterion Classics to, I don't know, Camp Galore, whatever you want. Canopy is fucking incredible. And you can connect it. I don't know if it's however many you want, but you can connect it to a lot of different libraries. So you can do your county library, which I have. You can do your school library, which I have. And so that opens up even more selection, even more just options, and it's incredible. And it's all free because it's through public services, through public library, which is free. It's incredible. I love Canopy so much. It's my new service. Tubi is so close behind, but I think Canopy goes in front. I love Canopy so so much. The selection is just unmatched. Next is Hoopla. Same exact thing. Okay? Except the selection is not as good. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Hoopla has the same exact premise as Canopy. It uses the public library database, but for some reason the selection just isn't as good. I don't understand it, but that gets a fat D. And the UI is really, really bad. Canopy UI is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. Hoopla, not good. Okay, I'm finally finished with this list. Disney Plus. I've used Disney Plus a few times. I don't have it personally, but I've used it. And yeah, I mean, that kind of gives you my idea of it. Anyway, I love this list. I love this idea. I'm glad I did this. This is definitely going up on the YouTube channel.